It's easy to forget about other powerful beings in Final Fantasy XVI since the main character kind of steals the show. Even if we're not talking about Clive, the main character, there's other beings that are pretty powerful in their own right, like his brother Joshua. There's beings in this universe that are humans that are basically hosts to supernatural mythical beasts, every character having their own different one. While it is true Clive is unique and he can pretty much use every beast in the game, there's other beings that are pretty powerful like the Phoenix, which I'm going over in this video, Joshua. Like, for example, every beast or icon in this game, one can say, has their own unique qualities, but they're all, one could say, comparable to one another. Like, each icon uses different elements, but they still can fight one another. One of the unique things that Joshua and his icon or beast within him can do is actually fly. There's other ones that can fly too. He just happens to be one of the ones that can fly because he's a phoenix. He can fly and project fire, which gives him a nice, unique element of maneuverability when he fully transforms. Magic is a big theme in this universe. Even characters that are not even fighters can use magic. They're called bearers. People use them as slaves to use magic because without crystals in this universe, you can't really use magic unless you're like a dominant or a bearer. Joshua is one of those beings that has a godlike entity within him, which is why he's so powerful. They even describe these beasts to have world-shattering strength, and they're not exaggerating. It's just a natural theme in this universe. The older you get, the stronger you get, the more you get better with your abilities you have. Like Joshua's young here, but it's a fair assumption by the time he gets this age, he's a lot stronger. He wields a sword. He's a lot more experienced. Beings in this universe can do transformations. Like they can partly turn into their beast, so they kind of get like a beastly look, but they still look humanoid. This is like they're not channeling all the power of the icon from within them. But when they want to go to full mode, they call it, like right here, it's called semi-priming. But when they want to go into super mode, they call it priming, where they completely turn into the mythical beast. Like you got his base form that looks like this. Even Joshua has his transformations where he can kind of transform bits of his body to a phoenix. And then he can transform into the actual phoenix all the way and power all the way up. This is something that takes a big amount of control to do, something he couldn't do when he was real younger, so it shows his improvements. He can shoot energy projection, fire, and even create shields in his powered up state like this. They even talk about it here. You even see him in this picture, magic barriers. Some dominants have the ability to call upon a part of the icon's power to summon a ward, a nigh impervious barrier that no magic, no matter can cross. Continuous channeling of an ether through the summoner's flesh, taking a heavy toll, so it is a price. You can't just spam this forever. The larger the barrier, the greater the burden, you know. Yeah, full-blown energy projection Joshua has. Like here you can see him using a blade. Even when he's not in his icon form, he uses fire projective attacks. Joshua has learned some type of sealing techniques throughout his years of getting better with his abilities and stuff and magic. This is a very unique technique, but it does take a toll and it has a crazy cost. One can say this is a spell unique to the Phoenix. One can say like this cage is Phoenix cage. Well, at least a piece of Ultima into his being. As you can see, this did take its toll on him throughout the game, of course. At least was able to seal a piece of Ultima up for a good chunk of the game or a good amount of time. Yeah, it's a heavy toll though. On top of having great maneuverability, being a Phoenix, that's one of the things he specializes is healing. So that does come in handy. Very good asset to the battlefield. Yeah, the Phoenix can actually heal himself, by the way. That's the benefit of being a Phoenix. I guess one could say regeneration. Health bar went all the way down. And he can do this thing called Flames of Rebirth. A big part of the game is that this guy keeps on losing as the Phoenix. But yeah, the good thing is that we thought he died throughout the whole game and he's really not dead. Like in this occasion when he actually survived this somehow. A whole bunch of rocks, or one could say little baby meteors coming at him. Joshua, without even needing to exert his icon's power, can still put up a barrier to block stuff that can just level bridges like nothing. Yeah, that much collateral. When he's powered up, the Phoenix can throw strong beings like Ifrit through thick pillars, and Phoenix can stand ridiculously powerful energy blasts from Ifrit himself. In one of his mini fights against Ifrit, for example, Phoenix did a powerful blast that could pretty much level a castle without wasting any time. When he's actually fully powered up, this is something you should know by now, but they have the raw power output or striking power. Like Phoenix slamming into Ifrit could definitely buzz mountains by all this collateral he can cause. This is what Phoenix did with his strike. So yeah, they can definitely level mountains if the crater's this massive. When Clive, the main character, was stopping this big old boulder, Joshua is no featherweight. He's strong enough to help out and is not dead weight when it comes blasting it away. I mean, yeah, so it's pretty obvious at this point they can level mountains, but it even goes even further. This being known as Odin, the other beast that Joshua had to tangle with, of course, one of the many. When, of course, Joshua powers all the way up into his Phoenix form, he had to create a shield that can withstand a slice from this powerful icon being. A being, let me tell you how strong this slash was that he had to protect himself against. He had to protect himself against something that can split the seas. And when we say split the sea, it's not a freaking exaggeration when we say that kind of, like, bro, all this water was split down the middle and it stayed up. definitely can slice cities in half, if this being wanted to. But look how high these walls of water are, these sliced. Joshua's shield had to withstand attacks from this being. This gives you some perspective on how strong these beings have to have shields that can withstand sea-splitting force. He split the sea in two. So we already know when Joshua's channeling the power of the Phoenix, he can definitely tremble mountains. An argument could be made that this is like the tip of an iceberg when it comes to just breaking mountains in this universe. I mean, we've seen Phoenix pretty much fight multiple different Eikon beings or beasts in this game. The fact that he can still kind of battle Odin without fully transforming, when we know this being has defeated a fully powered up being before, when it comes to Shiva, this is still impressive, and it shows how much blast power he got. It kind of shows that he doesn't just have defense, but also blast power, and his attacks are pretty crazy too. I mean, you see him blocking a straight up sword attack from Odin, and we know what Odin's cutting power can do already, and he's withstood it too with his shield. Could Joshua's flame split the sea? Let me stop. I mean, it was even stated that with two icons or mythical beasts fight, they can shake the island to its foundations. It's not an exaggeration when you see them splitting the sea. You know what I mean? So trembling entire islands is definitely believable. When Joshua's in his really powered up state, he does a super shield that even Bahamut's super crazy blast had some serious issues getting through. It was taking all of this. It shows Joshua's defense withstood it. When it comes to speed, it's very contentious, but there's implication that he could be light speed, possibility-wise, because when they was fused, when his brother Clive and him fused, yeah, they fused in the game. When it was called Ifrit Risen, it's because of Joshua, when they was fused together, they achieved this ability known as light speed. It's similar to the Phoenix shift. Phoenix. Some imply that this ability came from the Phoenix. There could be implications of light speed, fighting speed, or zipping or burst speed or whatever. Yeah, but he still has enough firepower to blast boulders apart with his brothers. You don't sleep on Joshua. But at the end of the day, all of this could be just me. How strong do you think Joshua is? Do you respect him? Doesn't have as much screen time as the main character, but the screen time he does have hits hard. But before I get going, I have to say thanks for the donations, everybody. Helps out a lot. Respect Joshua, the Phoenix. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.